My autobiography index. Number one, introduction. Number two, my childhood. Number three, my time at school. Number four, my childhood career aspirations. Number five, my adolescence. Number six, sexual abuse. Number seven, my birthdays. Number eight, the first time I went to the sea. Number nine, the Christmas. Number 10, the adventures. Number 11, my college admission. Number 12, my projects in the future. Number one, introduction. I often wonder what I want to become or what is wrong with the world to be what I am. With the demands, a good family, and a high expectations, I stop it. It begins sentimental to become as cold as demanding, as empathy, as broken, and as the efficient and tired. This is my history of a young woman who shows that she has everything, but in the end, she does not value anything. Hi, my name is Veronica Lenis, and this is my history. Number two, my childhood. I was born on November 25 on 2003 at the San Vicente de Paul Hospital in Anserma Caldas. My parents are from Anserma. They are Juven Alzate. He is a farmer, worker, and placer decorator. And my mother is Alida Lenis. She is a teacher and my hair here in my town. I am the youngest sister. My oldest sister is Maria Alejandra Alzate Lenis, and we have a difference of 9 years old in age. Therefore, when I was born, she was just a girl who wanted a little sister. Right now, my sister is a nurse, but she likes art or doing other things more. My birth is something special. Since my mother was diagnosed by cervical cancer when my sister was 2 years old, I am a miracle. My mother was going to have a hysterectomy due to the severity of the cancer, but when she went into the surgery, they determined that it was not necessary. They also told her that she could not have more children. So when my sister asked for a little sister, my mom asked her gynecologist if it was possible to have another child, and after several tests they told her yes, she could. They locked for me 2 years, and in the end, my mother got pregnant. It was somewhat risky, but fortunately, the delivery and everything else went very well. My first prank was hours after birthday. I found my family remind me with grace and ease that I took off a stocking and they would not let me put on. I was a big baby with yolk eyes, without eyebrows. Ever since I was a baby, I've been very imperative. I have like a moment and a sport. My father has always been present, something that is not very common in our society. So I have several photos of my hand carrying me and as a baby, receiving the son on the other sleeping on his belly. When I was 4 months old, my mom got sick with a kidney infection, so I was left alone with my 9 years old sister. Since my dad had to go with my mom because she was hospitalized in Manizales. Until that moment, I was breastfeeding. My sister tells me that those very difficult days since only the lady who, and that time my mother had hired to help in house help us. No family supported us. 3 weeks passes when my mother returned, and they say that she received her with great enthusiasm. My first years of life were surrounded by ladies that my mother had to take care of me. Since my mother had to work, just like my father and sister studied, I was a teen girl. On my many occasions, they tell me that the ladies did not feed me and that I cried a lot. My mother kicked them out, but she always had to hear some new because I work. At work, they did not give her permission to stay with me when there was no one to take care of me. They told me that Despite being with strangers all the time, I was still a girl who liked to play, painted, and do makeup. One of my pranks was I went painting a white curtain with the red lipstick on a wall, as well as my face, hands, and clothes, for which I got several scoldings. Before I 1 year old, we went to the lab with my maternal grandmother, since in the house where we lived they were going to develop a second floor because there were already many of us at home, and we only used 2 rooms in which we had the kitchen, the bathrooms, and the beds. There were my grandmother's spent 6 months, which were good because I was surrounded by the family when the house was ready. With Mom again already had my room, but I slept with my mom. Something interesting about my family is that my parents do not sleep together. They each have our own. In our house, my sister and the employees took care of me, while my parents worked and went to the meetings in the afternoon. When I was 2 years old, I used to have a lot of tantrums in the street, and I would sit on the steps on the Proveedor, a supermarket that is my largest in Enserma. I almost always went there with my aunt, my mom's sisters, and they gave me sweets on whatever I wanted to eat. I did not move from those stairs, and I have evidence photos that showed me ready ground beat. The solution that my parents gave to the tantrums was not hit me with a plan called Pringamosa, and there the tantrums passes and the charm remain. My parents had been a bit old-fashioned, but not like their parents, which is appreciated. Once at the provider, I was with my aunt and the sister, and I ran away from them. I ran very, very fast, and my sister could not catch me up with me. But I didn't really pay attention to where I was going, and I hit my head with a shopping cart, which generates a very, very large bump. My sister was avised not to let me sleep because I could become unconscious. She was afraid they would school us for that blown for not taking good care of me. It was not my fault for being very painful and naughty. One of the things that happened to very often was that I vomited almost everything I ate, except the sweets. For my third birthday, I wanted a kitchen burger. That was very big one for a baby, but they gave it to me, and as a result, I threw up on the street in front of many people. Luckily, there was a puppy that ate the vomit. That's what my mom told me, because if not, the locals had to clean. They took me to the doctor several times for that, but he did not find anything wrong. My family brought my mom a lot because she did not gain weight. She was a teen girl, and in a medical checkups, she always fine, so my weight was fine. Only my grandmothers believed that the children should be to be healthy. In the same way, my parents gave me many nutritional supplements, which also made very intelligent. At this age, I got a lot of styles in my eyes. They tried everything to get rid of the theme until they put a French like chicken end of me, but nothing helped me. So the doctor decided that they should me operate me. I thought it was a very small surgery that they have anesthesia me because I was small and I would move a lot apart from the fact that I would be nervous. I only had the surgery in my life. I have not had styles again. She taught me to put my head in the water, told me in my breath for when I learned to swim and was almost drowned her because I thought she could hold out alone. I got scolded for this, and my sister swore she will never play with me like that again. My sister has been a person who was being present in my care. She combed my hair, she dressed my strategy, but she dressed me. Once I put a remember bat from a thrush me in my nose, which caused is to be blessed and loved, and the first person I went to was her. She scared me. My mom came, and since they did not know where the blood came from because her face was full, my mom and my sister washed me, and since I could hardly breathe, they took me to the hospital with my father, and there with tweezers they took out the rumor. A curious fact is that when I was a baby I could hardly sleep, so they took me to the hospital by the car and I fell asleep. By the time they arrived at the hospital, no longer cried and everything was fine. Therefore, whenever this happened to me, my father would drive me around in the car from home. By the time I was 4 years old, I entered a garden called Vivencias. I spent my afternoon there, and by that time I really had more memories. I was in a group of cheerleaders there and many activities. I even had a teacher who scolded me a lot. Once she scolded me for beating a girl with the Down syndrome, but she had done the same to me. I did not understand that she had special treatment. I also remember the boy I liked and the teachers painted our hair with glitter for our cheer performance. My most memorable moment in the garden was when I played in the play. I played the role of a street vendor, I had to say, and I sold CDs. My sister researched along with me for this, but I did not say it. I say it's science, but for that we won an award and they applauded me a lot. My sister was a professional instead than Hunter because she wanted everything to be perfect. When I was 5 years old, I started school and I was also studying and swimming. Sports had always accompanied me. They kept an internet in many things because otherwise I would be very alone at home. Something that happened very often was that they forgot to pick me. I passed in the garden and spent many times at the school. They spent time and sometimes they thought that one my parents had come for me, and when they were at home I was not with any of them. Number 3, my time at school. Since I was a little, although I have had a good family, I had to learn to be alone. My sister organized me to go to school and help me with my homework. So when she left for university, I didn't know what to do, and apparently my parents did not either. I missed my sister, but I began to learn to comb my hair and keep my uniform clean. I did very well in the kindergarten, but as always the children are bad and they used me to bully me, and a lot because I was showy. I was disorganized in my play and I hated wearing to uniform skirt, but I hated with socks. I had to go up to the knee even more. I hated not being able to play like dry children who jumped and jumped without the teachers tell me something to show their shorts or their panties. Being a woman from then on was the worst thing that could happen to me because women are not to blame for showing off nature or being who we are. On the other hand, men are to blame because they should respect all people, but they do not. I still have this thought after so many years. I rarely say that, and I am still that fat girl who Warren Begin told me what to do because of the way she was dressed. In my first year of school, everything was completely disordered because I did not know how to do the right watch match. The teacher come with the alone and strange words like bar and fluorescent, and I did not understand the pronunciation, much less how to learn with units like that. At the end of the school year, I had two very important school exams, the dictation of rewards with two and the write my name. I had begun preparing myself all year used to write my name. I made thousands of the page. I still did not understand why Veronica was so difficult to write. Much less why my name had an accent. Every time seemed super strange to me. Bad signs. I was a daughter of teacher. Everything showed we always had been very easy for me. Writing my name should not have been a problem, but it was. I never should have I been so scared by dictation. The best of all that time was a relaxed day of the day of dictation of strange words. So my family went to emergency school for me to take me with the time of the funeral and burial. Sunday was the first time I was happy because someone was died. The second year of school was quieter in writing sprints or events. I didn't know, and I did not understand anything. I did not want to do in there. I just wanted to play down and give gifts because I have always loved giving gifts to people alive because I do not know, but I think you can brighten people's day with a little things like a candy bar or a piece of gum, and I love seeing people smile saying thank you, and if they do not, they have a less and I mean well. Continue with the history of my second year of school. I almost threw everything to hell because I almost lost the year of my teacher calling my mom in the second semester to tell her that I was lost in the year and I why would a teacher's daughter lose in the year? Dalila should not teach me the multiplication tables and the home. Oh, I had something cognitive. The afternoon my mom came home from work totally angry and calling me from the first floor on the house to ask me to come down with the notebooks I had because she was going to check them. That day I cry and cry because she always is caring to me a lot. I never trusted or respect her. I was just scared of her and it is still like that. I hate that day so much that I remember that I had no words to explain it to my mom, that I hate studying, that I hate not having friends, that I hate being too fat and ugly in the classroom because as I was little, everyone imparted it to me, and I hated my necks when I fell. I hated that day because my mom showed me that she had the power I did not, but she forgets me to know my never and always want to have the power. I become a girl with goals and objectives but afraid of only one person. My third year of school was so much fun. I started having male friends because girls never accepted me. The cars become my favorite pastime and Ben 10 because my favorite character. I never liked Barbies or any of those movies. I love the Mulan movie because she said with her family she went to find with men, she showed with that woman that have the same ability as them, that we can learn, find, write and do thousands of things or much better than them. My academic performance went up. I was really among to the 10 students. I had good grades, I had fun, I started to like studying, and everything was a last escape for the of flowers because people always say third grade is the hardest school year because of the divisions or I got ever it that made me every happy. For year of school, my family life was shit. My parents were always fighting. It was not known if they were going to the risk voicer or not. My sister was desperate to leave home and go to the college to get rid of my parents' problems. My mom became older, more helpful, more impertinent. She became the worst person because she hurt my sister and me, and that fixing it with some gift like clothes, shoes, go to it in the street, or silly thing that my sister and I wanted. Material things were more the sentimental things. What my mom did not code or was that she turned her youngest daughter into a magistrate who always wants to have more and more luxuries, who hates not having a penny and loves clothes and always being combinated. She did not expect her daughter to only look at what people have and not what they were. She did not expect her daughter to become so empathy from such a young age. Fifth year of school, the worst school year. It was horrible that year because my sister left for university. My parents were going to get divorced. The lady who cleaned the house went to work elsewhere. I had no one to take care of me. I didn't know how they organized myself, and I had no friends. Everything turned to shit in a month, but I like everything in my life. I had to improve, or so I thought. The question was that I did not improve it at all. The only time I had peace in the house was when my sister come off weekends, and that if it is not fine with my mom because that was another matter that they live together like cats and dogs all the time. I could not have peace at any time. There was only peace when I was at school. Then student become my everything. Studying gave me peace. Studying freed me from the problems at home. Studying was the best thing I have and still have. Number 4, my childhood career aspirations. When I was a child, I had many dreams about what I want to be when I grew up. I great aspiration, but always for money. I wanted to be a singer because the singers to a part of television were always pretty and dressed very well, and everyone always gratulated them. I want to be a chef because they were always very elegant and to clean at all times, and I always thought that the food they sold was super expensive. That's why they have a lot of money. I wanted to be soldier because they exercised a lot. They were brave and never gave up. For the military, always won and survived. They were the best in the everything and the strongest. I want to be an actress because my parents once told me, and those people earned a lot of money, and that's why they could dress so well and have so many luxuries. These professions were very based of the dreams of an innocent girl who did not know what she really wanted. But over the years, she realized that sometimes everything we see is a lie and that you have to know how to differentiate definition from reality. But my real dream was always to be a writer, but not famous or things like that. I just love it and love writing because I make tangible what I can never say. Number 5, my adolescence. In my adolescence, dancing was the most normal thing in my school. My way has always been and my problem because to be happy and beautiful, you have to be thin. Also, I thought to pour on then in the contest. I went 7th 78 kilos when I was 14 years old. That's where my food tragedy began, and my obsession with being super skinny. The doctors told me to lose weight. I went on painful days. I vomited until I could not take and eat anymore, and I was beautiful on the outside, was I was damaged on the inside in every way. My health got worse. I was always sick. My period did not come back, and my hair fell a lot. But the people always told me, "Hey, how pretty you look, so skinny." For those simple words, all my suffering was worth it. But when you stop eating, your mood worsens, and it's normal to be irritable with everyone, and they end this with almost all my friendship. Loneliness is inevitable, but sanity is not eternal. Knowing how to be alone and loving oneself are totally difficult things, and I could not to do, but I have always needed someone accepted. Knowing that someone likes me is essential for me, because when they reject you so much, you start to question everything about yourself, and the best way to wake people like is you to be cute but impossible, charming but exclusive, and avoid all one table, because people always want what they cannot have. Developing this type of thinking is horrible, but deep down we all want to be cute, and I love it. But what price are you willing to pay for it? It was willing to pay all the prices, and they let me weigh 52 kilos with the practical too little too late. I held life. My spending was visible, and my clothes were always to be for me. The goal invaded me for every bite I took, and the fear of food became horrible. I had to go to therapy for a long time to be able to eat with a little more peace on my everything was fine for a while, but not long enough. I thought that beginning the teen was the best, and it was. At the time, I did not know the consequence of my actions and how bad I was, until I was declared bulimic anorexic in 2019. I had shocks a full of time and through of non-stop, so I could be a size 6 in jeans. I doped myself, and I recovered through, because sleeping takes way younger. I like to make my parents saying that I had a really 18 and become the happiest, the woman by the most lost in all senses of my life. Number 6, sexual abuse. To make people like you, you just need a smile and have so much sensory energy that they want to be like you. The point is that is a lie about people who call hurt me and give me drugs or alcohol, but obviously I do not fit into that lifestyle. I was 15 years old when a man tried to rape me for the third time. The best thing was that the man did not get anything but left me with more trauma than I really had. My second attempt I was with a neighborhood. I was 8 years old when I went to play on the swimming, and this house everything was going fine as always until he came, and he told me that if I played tinklies with him, and he groped me everywhere. But thank God they called me from my house that I really had to leave. The bill saved me. My first rape attempt when I was 6 years old. I stayed with my grandfather and my aunt's husband because they were taking care of me while my mother arrived. He did the same with me. He told me that if I played tennis with him, and while he touched me, my mom arrived, and as always, I had saved by the bell. I always saved myself from of alternative sexual abuse, but I never saved myself from the fear and disgust I feel for men. All thanks to that, I become revengeful. I wanted everyone to pay for what they did to me because there weren't just 3 attempts. There were many more, but they marked me because I was a just girl. That's how I became a bad person. I wanted men. They saw me to feel inferior and basic, that they were never going to enough for me. And playing with the feelings of good people became my passion. I regret having hurt people who had nothing to do with it, but there I found a potential that I did not know I had. I developed discipline and such an intimidating look that I always maintained, and every few endured it until now. Only one boy has been able to be that Barchelor. My birthdays. When I was 1 year old, my parents told me that I did not have a big celebration like I did do in many places, since we did not have money because they were building the second floor of the house where we were going to live, and they had to spend everything there. An aunt who had come from Spain lent my mom money to buy a cake, and they sent my sisters to buy it. It was something very simple, and there are no photos because eventually it was being celebrated. They were sad that it could not be something big. From that moment and all my birthdays have had their lawns, all that most of them when I was a little bit good, when we're already in the house where my parents still live. They were able to celebrate my birthday properly with good cakes, elegant dresses, lots of sweets and gifts. And entertaining was not hard because my father entertained us all and made us play. They tell me about some birthdays, but I remember little. For my third birthday, several relatives from abroad came. I had a great time because I had neighborhoods, my cousins in the same age, and I was specular because I did not the age. So, also, they tell me we dirt, a lot of paper. Hallelujah. I rolled it on the floor with the paper, and the hairstyle that my sister did for me was destroyed. It really is how a birthday is celebrated with a of love recocha. My father showed us how to dance with his strange steps. I ate a lot of cake and many sweets, and I think it gave me a stomach ache. The gifts were many and very nice. I still have a doll that my grandmother Mary gave me, a chain that my grandmother Elvia gave me. Years passed and the birthdays had the same day, and fewer people and varied signs the same relative and friends could not come. On my fifth birthday they put me in a green dresses and I had a great time. They had a birthday party in the room and gave me many gifts. In my family, as good Colombians, they have also hot dogs with Colombian soda, lots of bonbons and chocolates, as well as chocolate bar and ice cream with cookies. It was a very cool when my parents had money. I could have his time of my birthday, since each year it varied. Some were parties and others were cake on my favorite lunch with gifts. For his birthday, they no longer gave a party, they gave me a cake, which is a really of tradition in my house. A birthday should always have a cake, and they make me my favorite lunch with at the time was chicken sweet, and they gave me gifts. The gifts that I remember the most from my childhood are dolls because they not give me Barbies. They gave me a makeup which I always liked, and a set of colors we make crayons and a notebook to paint. I made several works of art and I consider them so. I read at school during my adolescence birthdays, were with friends or simple at home with cake and my favorite lunch. There were no bombs and no decoration. For my 15th birthday, like good Latinos, they threw me a party, but I didn't in a simple way, or also my sister side. We did the mass to food and the dance. We invited 15 closest friends. The family comes from Pereira, Medellin, Viterbo, and friends from Cali. My sister made the invitations, and we took more than 2 months to prepare everything, and that was something simple. The decorations were both in Pereira, and we empathy Barchelor, the second floor of my house to celebrate it. We put all the beds and nightstands in the mother's room on the first floor, and we slept there for about 4 days while everything was being organized. My aunt Guillermina, old sister of my father, was in the chairs in the food together with Doña Gloria.